We've come to the end of EASD TV, and for our final wrap-up, we thought we'd invite two members of the programme committee to tell us what they thought of the whole event. So it seems appropriate that we have Mikael Rydén, because it is his home city of Stockholm that we have come to, and Christian Herder, also on the programme committee. So what were the highlights, apart from the city of Stockholm, which we think is magnificent?
So to start with, I think one of the big things here has been seeing all the new data on incretins and incretin analogs, and understanding how potent these third generation drugs will be on our patients. I also think it's been extremely interesting to see the new guidelines, the updated guidelines that are now finalized on diabetes management, and also all the other interactions we've had, seeing people for the first time face to face, and all the interactions you can have between the symposia. That's what makes a great scientific meeting, I think.
I've only ever seen Mikael Rydén in a white coat in his office on Zoom. I didn't know he was a real person. Christian.
Yeah, I think especially the last aspect was really fantastic, because the atmosphere was definitely different from usual. I think everybody was happy to see everybody else again after the long COVID break, and I think this was definitely special for this EASD meeting. When it comes to the symposia, I think one of my favorites was I might be slightly biased there because I was one of the chairmen of the session, but it was the session on precision diabetes medicine. So this was a joint session of the ADA and the EASD. And here we looked at basically where do we stand and what are the potential challenges, but also opportunities. And I think this was definitely very worthwhile. And I just can recommend it to everybody who hasn't seen it yet. I mean, look at it online.
And how about you? What was your standout symposia? Or maybe you have several.
I do have several. I mean, I chaired the program committee now for the last time, doing it for 4 years in a row. So of course
it was a magnificent program.
Well, yes, but I might be slightly biased there. But every symposium is there with a thought. I mean, every symposium is our baby, basically. We've thought a lot on who to invite and who to put as chairs, the commentators. But I do think that what I see here is a patient-centered approach, which I think is really important to engage our patients in the treatment. And this varies across different countries and different regions, of course, but also seeing how many tools we're now developing. And I think it's extremely interesting to see what's going to happen in the next 10 years. I remember when I started med school in 1990, and we basically only had 3 agents. We had insulin, metformin, and SUs, and that was it. And we were still trying to do advanced algorithms on how to treat our patients. Now we have so many tools in our toolbox, and they have completely different effects and modes of actions, and that is it's a great thing for us professionals trying to help our patients to lead a better life and a healthier life.
What about a particular standout for you? For myself, I think that Annette Ziegler was absolutely magnificent.
That was a great talk.
That was a tour de force,
yeah,
as well as Michael Nauk.
I do think that for me, and perhaps setting the stage of, seeing the development of a drug class, I think Mikael Nauk gave a great historical perspective on the journey, starting from very humble origins, trying to understand how these incretins work into the big development program that has been, where many people have participated, many professionals and many companies, and how this has led to the development of this now 3rd generation of drugs, and we're looking forward to the 4th and 5th generation of drugs as well. But I think that kind of set the tone for the entire Congress.
And there was also Matthias Chope. Did you catch his presentation?
Unfortunately not, because I had to go to another meeting. So, but I'm quite sure, since he's one of the pioneers in the field, it must have been a great talk.
I've been hearing a lot of very good things about that. Final one from each of you.
I do think it was very interesting to see the symposium on once weekly insulins. I think that's also something that helps us tweak treatment, and also the development program that has and the years that it took to develop these drugs, and the pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics that and all the caveats and hopes that we can have in these treatments. So insulins are definitely not dead. They're still important.
Yeah, I would like to highlight this session that's actually just finishing in a few minutes. I was happy to be there for the first two sessions, and this is about dietary policies. I mean, it's not just all about pharmacology and treatment of people with diabetes. Another important thing is, of course, prevention. I mean, we shouldn't get there, so that people should be treated. And then what can we do, not just on the micro level with the individual patient or the individuals, but also on the meso level and macro level. And there I really liked Annette Buchan's talk from Paderborn. I mean, she just discussed all aspects of precision health nutrition and how we can basically evaluate the efficiency of different measures, and also a colleague from the UK who discussed basically the effects of the taxes on sugar-sweetened beverages in the UK as one measure to influence behavior and also consumption and probably risk factors of diabetes, and this is so important.
Our government, and I'm making no political comment here, about to dismantle all our sugar taxes, which is very distressing to hear.
I hope that they may see the light at some point.
Yes. Unlikely.
Final thing I would like to highlight also was the Rising Stars session.
Oh, the Rising Stars.
Because that's the future of diabetes research in the world, and I think it's great to see these young professionals being so engaged and so advanced in their knowledge and trying to encompass all aspects of diabetes research. And we know that the Rising Stars are soon the Minkowski Prize winners and the Claude Bernard winners in the end. So.
Well, Mikael, you laid on a smorgasbord of wonderful, wonderful presentations and symposia, and it's been terrific. So thank you to you and indeed to all of the programme committee. And that wraps us up on EASD TV. It's been a splendid, splendid time. And of course, every single one of the presentations, the symposium, you can look at on EASD web and see EASD virtual meeting. So thank you to all. Goodbye to all of you.